Hello, friends. Well, today I wanted to show you, let me see if I can get this lined up. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm going to make a clock out of this round. Now, this started out as a record. Okay, you can see on the back. And I did a pour on it. I wasn't crazy about it. And then I got a little nuts and I just started, swirling things around and I set it aside. But actually, I kind of like it. And I think it's going to make a great clock. So after I rediscovered this, I took a piece of wood. Okay. It's from Woodpile. It has a little hook at the center, okay? And I decided that because I was going to make it a clock, I wanted to make sure that it was sturdy, okay? So, the clock is going to be mounted on this piece of board. Yes, it makes it a little heavy, but it makes it very sturdy. Let me tell you what I did with the background. I started out with the background where I mixed, sorry, it's a little dusty. I mixed some Color Art Prism Pour paints, which I love. Okay, let's see here. We got, whoops, here we go. This one is Blue Velvet. This one is Water Dragon. And this one is Dark Waters. I love these prism pours because if you really want to do like a painting just for a base, I've used them by themselves. I've added a little bit of the prism pour, the polyacrylic sometimes, or a little water. At any rate, what I did, I took a sponge and I just went all the way across, okay? I had my mixture and I just sort of squiggled it on the base, and then I just used the sponge, which is why you see some variations. However, those won't show because the record is going to cover that up. And what I decided to do, I wanted these corners to be just a little more special. So I took a dauber, just a little foam dauber. I actually, wait, here it is. Sorry, I used one that was a little smaller. And in my container of my paints, I just put this down in, and then I just daubed it on here. And what that did, that gave me some, texture, which I wanted to stand out. Let me get that a little closer. You can see what that texture looks like. And the variations in color is exactly what I was looking for. Turn it around so you can see this. Just wanted something a little bit different. So I'm gonna, gotta make sure I've got my hook on the back going upright. Otherwise, you'll be hanging your clock in a different direction. Okay, so in order to block out those corners, I put my record down on top, and I took a Posca pen. I made sure that this was all even here, and I took a Posca pen and just used some light blue or turquoise blue, anything that was going to show up against this background, and I just went, shifting here, sorry. I just went around on these areas to block those off so I would know what areas to do my paint daubing on. And I really like it. It shows a little bit of shimmer. When I showed this on the live last Sunday, I had quite a few suggestions that I use a dark blue in the background. So I was real pleased with those suggestions, and that's what I'm going with. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to put the numbers on. Now I have some ideas around that, but we'll start with the basics, okay? In order to make sure that my numbers are lined up, I'm only going to do the 12, 3, 6, and 9 because I don't want to distract it from the rest of this, okay? So I put this template that I got, it's actually a stencil for a clock, and I put it on here just simply as a guide as to where I'm going to put my numbers, because I don't know about you, but I have a really hard time sometimes, you know, trying to figure out where, you know, what makes it even, and without a lot of measuring, and even when I do measure, sometimes I don't get it right. So this way I have kind of a guide. These are the numbers I'm going to use. Now, they are stick-on, okay, which is fine because this will all get resined. But they also, or I should say, and they also have some sparkle. But we're gonna enhance that sparkle. So let's just get these numbers down here. Put that right there. They have a little bit of a sticky back. However, I am going to go back and glue those, all right? But right now, I just want to make sure that I get these on here so that they're a little bit positioned. That looks, oops, that looks upside down. Hello. Okay, there we go. That's above that. I'm sure in a past life, or maybe earlier in my years, I could eyeball these things a whole lot better, but you know what? It is what it is. Okay, we got the 12. That's cool. We need the 6. We're going to put that down here. And I bring it right up to the edge of the stencil because, well, I didn't on this one. You kind of have to eyeball where you want to put it, but I like to have it like toward the edge of the clock. Okay, we'll get our 9 on there. See if we got this okay. I think that looks pretty good. Now, these have a sticky back, but they're not going to stay really stuck. So until I resin it, I don't want them to shift. Let me just take this off. All right, so that is our clock. I think we're pretty straight. Now, I could just put these down hard. Let's see. Well, actually, they don't move. So I don't think I'm even going to have to glue these separately, because by the time I resin it, they'll be fine. Okay, our clockworks are going in here. There will be black hands. All right. So what I want to do now, I want to enhance these just a little. You know how I am. And because there's so much purple here, I mean, obviously this clock is for someone who really likes purple, right? So I have this, it's called Insta-Dri Sarah Hansen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover these numbers with just a little bit. Ooh, that's pretty. Just a little more sparkle, just so they show up really, really cool. Now, what you can do if you really are nervous about the sticking, you can take some of this nail polish and just run around the edges. But I really don't think that's necessary. So let's go to the next one here. I don't know why I didn't start with 12, but you know, whatever. This is going to make it kind of whimsical with these nice sparkling letters, and the black in the background is going to help them show up on this piece. I love using nail polish for stuff. All right. Oh, how pretty. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it. I'm going to wait for that to dry for a second, and then I will show you what that actually looks like. Straighten that 6 a little bit. Ah! Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Just wanted to straighten it a little bit. Might have to put a little glue, a little of the nail polish stuff underneath just so it fits better. I mean, it adheres better. And that's another option. Just putting the nail polish on the back. Oh yeah, that should work good. Oh yeah. Because basically nail polish is glue anyway. So we've got that. And then we'll have the black handles once I put the gizmo in the back. Now, the record, okay, I did, you know, I have the hole here so that the hands can come up through it. What I need to do is have my hog, husband of greatness, I need to have him put a hole in the center here, which I had measured out when the record was on top. All of this stuff you see here, I was experimenting with colors to see what I wanted, and it didn't matter because I was going to cover this anyway, but it gave me a really good idea on how the sponging was going to work. So you've got this area to experiment with when you decide on your colors in your corners, which I think is very helpful. I mean, you've got this whole area that you can dab, you can try, you can do different colors on to see what holds up really well with the variations in these paints, okay, or any contrasting paints that you want to put there. So for right now, we are actually done. All I have to do is get the hardware in there. What I'm going to use to affix this, I'm going to take some spray Gorilla Glue, and I'm going to put it in here. Well, there are two ways, okay? I can do it either that way, or I can put some of the Ultra Gloss Medium paste and put in here. I just don't want it oozing out. So any kind of spray adhesive, or like the Gorilla Glue spray, you know, anything that is going to hold this down. Because remember, before you put the hardware on, you're going to resin this, okay? And then that way you will be all set. Everything will adhere nicely. Then you put your hardware on, you'll have all of this resined. And so actually, because the record is so thin, you can bring the resin up so that it's all very smooth. All right, so that is my demo for today. I'm not sure when I will show you the finished resin piece, but once I get the hole in there, at least I can show you what it looks like with the hands and the mechanism. And then even if I don't get it resined right away, you'll at least see what that looks like. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I love you all. I love my subscribers. I love my supporters. I love you all that come to my Sunday lives and chat and have fun. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Like, hit the notification bell, and, you know, share it if you want to. But at any rate, have fun. I look forward to seeing you on Sundays on my live at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern, and hope to see you Sunday. We're going to be doing some Valentine's quickies. Okay, everybody, remember, keep your sparkle on and give it to someone you love.